Good morning and welcome to Light Reflections from First Friends. We are glad you have chosen to join us for this virtual worship service and hope you find it beneficial to your spiritual journey. We consider this an abbreviated version of our in-person meeting for worship for those wishing to join us from a distance. If this is your first time joining us, First Friends is a thriving, progressive Quaker meeting in the city of Indianapolis, Indiana. We consider ourselves a loving, inclusive, joyous gathering of people seeking to know truth under the leadership of God's Spirit. All are welcome, no matter race, age, cultural background, sexual orientation and identity, marital status, physical and mental ability, family structure, or economic circumstance. Our hope is that through this worship experience, you will discover our faith community is unlike any other, where silent meditation is as important as the spoken word, where we emphasize the importance of one's personal encounter with the divine, and where we seek to support one another as we discover truth together. Now we invite you to center down and enter this virtual worship space with us.
Here's a kid's song for today, and if you know the motions, I'm expecting you to do those as well. Sing with me. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. How about love? I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean in my soul. Oh, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean in my soul.
Good morning, friends, and welcome to Light Reflections. Today at the Meeting House, we are celebrating VBS Kickoff Sunday. Our theme for VBS this year is True North, and I would like to use that as our focus for this message this morning. The text I chose is Isaiah 30:21 from the Message. Your own ears will hear him. Right down the road to your right or the road to your left. He's saying, this is the road, walk on it. I remember when I was younger wanting a compass. Whenever we visited my grandparents' house, I always was drawn to their desk that held both a prism and a compass. Clearly, this was before smart devices and pocket video games stole the attention of our young people. As well, I became even more interested as a child as my Cub Scout leader taught us a lesson on learning directions without using a map. This seemed to pique my interest. It almost seems crazy today, though, since most of us have a compass app that comes on our smartphones. Back then, there was something about the compass that intrigued me. Somehow, it was always finding a way to point true north. My young mind wanted to know how that worked. Well, later, my Cub Scout leader would teach us that a compass works by utilizing the Earth's magnetic field. The only place I had ever heard about a magnetic field at the time was in Star Wars. Again, totally cool. My scout leader taught us that a magnetized needle, free to rotate, aligns itself with the magnetic field lines, pointing towards the Earth's magnetic North Pole. This alignment provides a consistent reference point for determining direction and allowing us to navigate. At one of our den meetings, our Cub Scout troop made our own compasses, and my scout leader had a very large magnet, and he had purchased needles for us to magnetize and then try and use in our own small compasses. After making them, we put them to work guiding us through the streets of our town. And I remember mine being a bit off and not fully aligning with true north. Actually, it aligned more to a little northwest instead. But for our purposes in that lesson, it did the trick. Just a few weeks ago, we were in Savannah, Georgia, and I got turned around and confused as to which way was north. I had a map, but noticed that it did not have any north, south, or east or west directions on it. So I had to use the directions of the Savannah River to get me back to true north. I didn't even use the smartphone app in my pocket. One morning on our recent cruise, I woke up and walked out on the veranda, and as I looked down at the lower deck, I saw a bird sitting there, looking a bit confused. I could almost see it questioning, what was that giant landmass I landed on, and why is it moving at sea? It sat for several moments before finally resetting itself and flying away. Most researchers agree that birds have an inner compass that helps direct their flights. Taking their readings from the Earth's magnetic fields, the birds instinctively fly in the right direction. Well, that is until something changes or throws them off, like a big cruise ship in the water. As if that's not already fascinating, it's been further discovered that many night-flying birds also calibrate their inner compasses by using polarized sunlight at dawn and dusk. They do this every day before taking off in flight. Well, I think we can learn a lesson or two from these birds. Folks, you and I are on migratory journeys as well. From hostility to hospitality, from challenges to finding peace, from the darkness of this world to the light that is within and around each of us. From our selfish ways to embracing a beloved community. To help on this journey, I believe the divine has also given us an inner compass. As Quakers, we call it our inner light or inner Christ, that of God within each of us. I would like to take some time this morning and delve a little deeper into what this inner compass or inner light means. For Quakers or friends, we say that the essential spiritual experience is that of a direct, unmediated relationship with the divine. Friends have used many terms or phrases to refer to the inner certainty of our faith. The light within, the inner light, the Christ within, the inward teacher, the divine presence, Spirit, the great Spirit, the Spirit of truth, that of God in every person, the seed, and many more. I might add our inner compass this morning. In his journal, George Fox referred to that inward light, Spirit, and grace by which all might know their salvation, and to that divine Spirit which would lead them into all truth. This inner compass is leading us to all truth. Truth is also a name for the divine, and I think if we really think about it, our inner compasses are leading us to see the divine in each other, in our world, in nature, and so much more. Truth is our true north. Today, friends, continue to add other descriptors that help guide them out of a sense of ongoing revelation. For some friends, spiritual energy best describes their personal experience of that which enlivens and empowers them in seeking this truth for themselves and in community. In contrast with early friends, not all friends today consider themselves to be Christians or even theists. This is evident right here at First Friends, but that does not mean that we all are not seeking true north or all truth. You and I come from very diverse religious backgrounds and experiences and apply our different perspectives as we encounter the light within or the inner compass. Regardless of our journeys that bring us to explore the Quaker way, the invitation to enter an unmediated, inward relationship with the divine continues to be at the heart of the Quaker experience. I remember while in my doctoral work being nudged by the Spirit in this new Quaker way. For me, there was a sense of my inner compass having to be freed, to rotate, and find again my true north. Often our religious systems, our upbringings, and definitely fears hold our inner compasses hostage and do not let them rotate freely and find that true north. When I allowed myself to ask questions and face my fears and break those systems that were keeping me from the truth, I once again found my true north. When you and I embrace the Quaker way, we encounter the Spirit, active in the world and providing guidance for everyday living. The Spirit is our inner compass. The reality of the spiritual relationship within each of us brings us together here at First Friends as a community of faith, or what some would call a beloved community. We Quakers understand that faithfulness to Spirit can produce a spiritual energy within our faith community that encourages you and me to support each other within our community, and most of all, to live in harmony with the divine. Together, we connect to our true north. We also understand that the experience of the divine continues to unfold and that the record of the divine's presence in human lives continues to be written. Friends find that our light within, or inner compass, or spirit, accompanies, comforts, and loves us as we seek divine truth. It reveals who we are, including what we would prefer not to see about ourselves, and leads us out of spiritual darkness or dryness. It illuminates, it inspires, and it transforms us. It shows us how to live with love and compassion and justice toward others. And it gives us energy and power to change ourselves and the world in small ways and in large. Leads us to the right decisions in our meetings for worship with attention to business, and provides ongoing revelation of God's truth. To think, we have this inner compass within us and available to us right now. Lastly, in our scripture text for this morning, Isaiah 30:21 reads, "Your own ears will hear him right down the road to your right or the road to your left." He's saying, this is the road, walk on it. This verse speaks to the idea of the divine guidance we have been talking about, and it highlights the assurance that the divine's guidance is available regardless of the direction one is considering, providing clarity even in the complex of situations. I think because I was told so often growing up that the path to truth or God was a narrow road, I began to think too narrow about much of my spirituality. Our inner compass or spirit, that light within us, is with us on any path that we are on. It accompanies, it comforts, it loves, it reveals, it illuminates, it inspires, it transforms, it gives, it leads, and is available to provide guidance into all truth, no matter the path we choose. Folks, this is aligning to our true north. I look forward to our children being introduced to some of the basics of divine guidance this week at VBS, and for you and I to continue to explore them in our personal and communal lives here at First Friends. Now, as we take a moment to center down and enter a time of waiting worship, I have provided some queries for us to ponder this morning. What migratory journey am I on currently? What brought me to explore the Quaker way, and what have I learned? And where is my inner compass guiding me? Do I recognize my true north?
We close this time of worship with a Quaker prayer. God, open our eyes and unstop our ears, that we may see your light and may hear your heartbeat, reflecting and resounding within our chests, in those of all our neighbors, near and far, in all creatures and plants, and in the ground we walk upon. When we finally are able to yield to the leading of your rhythm and flow, may we come to walk cheerfully over the world, answering that of you in all. Amen. Have a great week, friends.